When is it appropriate to have a milkman stripped down to his bare essentials in front of a live crowd? Never. And for the first time in the main event this week, it was Dean Ambrose taking on Baron Corbin. Get ready, guys and gals, because it's time for WGS-TV Reviews. Smackdown Live. Hey, YouTube, are you ready for your hot tag? Because if you aren't, it's definitely time to warp.
Hi, I'm Lisa Marie, and you're watching The Wrestle Gamer on WGS-TV.
Greetings, YouTube. You have warped your way back into another episode of WGS-TV right here on YouTube.com/WrestleGamer. I am your friendly neighborhood Wrestle Gamer, and making his return to WGS-TV after a few months. Ladies and gentlemen, he is the Bay Area MVP known as Will. Will, what's up?
Like I say, SmackDown was very interesting as it gets along.
The SmackDown Tag Team Tournament would continue this week with two former NXT tag teams in one match, and in the other, one team returning after 16 years, and the other teaming together for the very first time. One of the most talked about segments from WWE last week was Miz's shoot promo on Daniel Bryan, which got a lot of people talking about it. So would WWE capitalize on that and push Miz further than being a joke? Let's talk about SmackDown Live. SmackDown Live would open up with The Miz storming out to the ring, seemingly still upset from talking smack last week, and cut another aggressive, passionate promo, but the crowd in Dallas wasn't buying it. Now, before SmackDown yesterday, I tuned into NJ of the British Fist YouTube channel, and he did mention something along the lines of not wanting to see Dolph Ziggler being pushed towards the Intercontinental Championship. So despite NJ's objections to the contrary, WWE is doing just that by having the show-off out there to confront The Miz on him being a coward, and would challenge him to a fight, to which Miz's wife Marie stepped in and made her husband go back to the back despite the taunts from the crowd and Ziggler. So, Will, basically what this was the genesis of an angle between these two, more than likely for the Intercontinental title.
Yeah, and I would just like to basically say here, some of you guys may not like The Miz, and I will respect that to all the WGS-T fans, but I have to say, that promo, I hope it goes further, but he's earned a little bit of my respect. Now, towards this match, or setup of this match, I agree with you on 2 points. Ziggler should not be pushed for the IC title, and I hope WWE capitalizes on this promo, because even though The Miz has been champion for, 147, 8 days, something like that, WWE would be a fool not to capitalize on this. They would.
First match this week was the Hype Bros taking on the Vaudevillians in the first round of the new SmackDown Tag Team Title Tournament. Now, Will, was it just me, or did the Hype Bros just basically squash the Vaudevillians in this match?
I only assumed that it was a 5-minute match, with mostly Ryder taking over, and then they would end it with, what's that move, folks? Yes,
the Hype Rider.
The Hype Rider. Yeah, so I would like to say NXT tag teams on SmackDown, very good. This match was more than a squash. It was a beating.
Yeah, which basically made English and Gotch look like bigger chumps than the Ascension or Breezango, and it goes to something I've said about WWE Creative not being able to use NXT talent properly on the main roster. After having a spelling confrontation with Apollo Crews backstage, AJ Styles was out in the ring basically cutting a promo about his upcoming title match with Dean Ambrose, when he would get interrupted by Crews, who went to Daniel Bryan about challenging Styles to a match. Now, I'm not sure if Crews and Styles have worked together in Ring of Honor before. I know they were both in the same promotion, but I'm not sure if they have ever worked together. But I will say this, they showed some great in-ring chemistry last night. What a wonderful match, in my opinion. Well, the one thing I don't want to see is Apollo Crews bumped down to mid-card status, because I personally believe he's way too talented to be at that level, in my opinion.
Yeah, and for the record, I would say they have not wrestled in Ring of Honor against each other, but yeah, and you made a very good point I wanted to bring up, so thank you for beating me to the punch on that one. Yeah, you have somebody that shined in Ring of Honor, got his chance at NXT, even though he did not get the NXT World Title. But now, you know, I knew Apollo Crews was going to SmackDown because Shane McMahon knew all the talent and all. But I do not want him to go down either. I mean, he has a lot to show. Going towards the match, however, yeah, I already knew AJ was going to win, but I hope somewhere down the line, at least before Survivor Series, Crews would get some type of match. I would like to have him have a rematch with The Miz for the IC title. I think that would be a better build than he being squashed to AJ.
Well, basically, it made sense to put AJ over on Apollo Crews just based on the fact that AJ is being pushed towards the WWE World Heavyweight title, so they need to make him look strong, which is why they had him go over on Apollo Crews last night. But one thing I don't know, honestly, what to think about was the interview with Heath Slater and Rhyno from Slater's trailer. It was almost stereotypical Southern comedy in a sense, and Slater's doing a good job pulling it off. I don't think they really needed Rhyno to say anything during this entire interview, so having him chow down on cheese whiz and crackers seemed like the okay thing for him to do. Slater's wife, and I have that up in quotation marks, well, wife, was a little over the top, but then again, wouldn't you say that Slater's gimmick as of late has been just that, a little over the top?
Well, let's put this into a respectable perspective. Slater has gotten over with the fans.
How are you going to put this into a respectable perspective?
Just hold on. Let me say, how many times has Slater wrestled to get an official contract? He was not drafted. He was betrayed by Jinder Mahal, got squashed by Brock Lesnar, got gored by Rhyno, and it made him seem like a joke. But who else comes to the rescue is the same guy who gored him. Yes, Rhyno. Because I think Heath Slater should be utilized in a way that I think he can work good as a face, in my opinion. Now, I will agree with you to go to the next topic. That whole trailer park $4 budget eating, yeah, I'm done.
Anyway, Bray Wyatt would be out next to cut a promo on Randy Orton, saying that he is damaged and weak due to his confrontation with Bork Laser from SummerSlam, which was a horrendous main event in my opinion, even worse than his match with John Cena for the WWE Championship. Oh, it's exciting to see so many suplexes. Brock's the man. No, he's not, IWC. Now shut up. Orton would come out to respond by saying he's been damaged and broken for quite some time. I think nobody better let Matt Hardy hear that. And he was not afraid of Wyatt or afraid to kick his butt. And the segment would end with Wyatt disappearing. I will say this, Will. I like the idea of WWE pairing Wyatt with Orton. It should make for a very interesting match come Backlash, wouldn't you say?
Well, here's what you got. You got the Viper versus the Eater of All Worlds, aka the new Face of Fear. And yes, I like this program going forward. Now, the only thing is how you can put it with someone that has the best cryptic promos in WWE by far in Bray Wyatt. Yeah, so whoever wrote this, about time. So I'm looking forward to this. Now, Backlash, I don't care who wins. This is very interesting in my mind.
Somehow Nikki Bella turned face, however I really didn't pay attention to what she had to say because I was staring at her boobs, and I don't care if they're fake, boobs are boobs in my opinion. Up next was a tag team match with Natalya teaming up with Alexa Bliss to take on the ever-colorful Naomi and Becky Lynch. Very quickly, thoughts on Naomi's new entrance?
Well, let's see. Naomi went from being the leader of Team Bad to a green, glowy 2016-ish rave women's wrestler. Well, let's be honest here. SmackDown's women division depth right now, it needs one more piece. Now, given Becky was the first draft pick, but I would have given it to Naomi at least. But, you know, I don't know how your views are going to be about it, but as far as this tag team match, I'll put it on a teeter poll. Then what happens next? Carmella jumps Nikki as she was on commentary. Yeah, I'm gonna say this. Nikki was better as a face, and Carmella wasn't getting over as a face. WWE knew it. The creative writers knew it. They had to turn her heel because she's just not connecting with the fans. Sorry.
I foresee a match taking place at Backlash between Nikki and Carmella, as honestly, I want to see this just to see how well Nikki has recovered from her neck injury, by how well she works the match, the bumps she takes running the ropes, because neck injuries in the wrestling industry are very difficult to come back from. Just ask Stone Cold Steve Austin or Daniel Bryan on that particular subject. After 16 years, Mosh and Thrasher, the Headbangers, are back in the WWE, and they look like they haven't aged one bit, even though the music they came out to was a little watered down from their original theme, which puzzles me as to why WWE just didn't use their theme for them last night. They took on Slater and Rhyno in what I thought was going to be a joke of a match where Rhyno would just let Slater get pwned left and right, but that didn't happen. Now, Will, I don't know what happened with Rhyno when Mosh knocked him off the ring apron or something, or where exactly he got cut, but when he came back up, he was bleeding. Were you able to find out anything about what happened, with that?
I caught that. So I guess when he threw him to that rope, I guess Rhyno leaned in too forward to where I'm going to guess it gashed him just a bit, but that he also got thrown into the steel part of it. I don't know if you caught that. It could have been one or the other. I'm going to guess mine's between the steel part than the reap part, because it looked very bad on both ends from those angles. So, I mean, I'm just surprised that he was still smiling after the match was over, though.
Yep, as Rhyno would gore Thrasher to pick up the win, so he and Slater now advance to the next round, and I wonder what WWE will do now with the Headbangers back in the WWE. To borrow a line from King Ross from the World Culture Wrestling YouTube channel, WTF WWE, a guy got in the ring, more than likely a local indie talent, got on the mic, and said he wanted a contract, even though he was a milkman, and stripped down to his tidy whities. Will, why?
So the milkman was the archetype Jason era. He is in the indie scene, but his tidy whities really, that wasn't no match. That was a welcome to WWE, don't come back.
Yeah, definitely. But what struck me as interesting, however, was Baron Corbin making his entrance for the main event and crossing paths with Kane. I wonder if that will lead to something between the two. Gotta learn to pick up on these subtle clues from WWE folks when it comes to starting angles.
Oh yeah.
Up next was the main event with Dean Ambrose taking on Baron Corbin with AJ Styles on commentary, and as expected, he did a wonderful job putting over his match for the title at Backlash. Styles has always been great at doing just that, whether he's on the live mic or on commentary. Now, for the first time on TV working together, Ambrose and Corbin did okay, but the finish was, well, kind of unique in a way. Well, allow me to explain. Styles was on the ring apron wanting to kick Ambrose in the head. Ambrose would duck, and Styles connected with Corbin, causing referee to throw out the match. And as Ambrose went after Styles on the outside, Corbin comes around to attack Ambrose, who responded with the dirty deeds, and then Styles would try to get the last laugh with the Phenomenal Forearm, but the Lunatic Fringe quickly countered by swiping Styles' feet and crotching him on the top rope, and then Ambrose would shake his hand and pretend to feel bad for Styles for some odd reason.
Yeah, and I did like the build that they have for Dean versus AJ. And I don't know the situation between Corbin and Kane, like you said. Are they going to set something up down the line? Perhaps. But I'll say going into Backlash, you have the champion versus the new face that runs this place, I guess you could say. But yeah, very interesting on the handshake, though. I didn't understand that, but it was very comedical.
Yeah, it did get a laugh from the crowd. Overall score on SmackDown this week gets a 3.5 out of 5, with best match of the night going to the main event, obviously, with worst segment of the night going to the milkman in his undies. Yikes. Will, over to you, your overall score and your picks for best and worst match or segment of SmackDown Live.
Alright, I agree, 3.5. Best match being Dean versus Corbin. Worst match, I'm going to go a little different here, and I'm gonna say Rhyno, Heath Slater versus the Headbangers here, only because, like you said earlier in the review, it's been 16 years. Mosh has changed in 16 years. He's gotten skinnier. So, I don't know if you noticed, but I did. And I could say best, worst, and funny segment all in one is where Renee Young and Rhyno go to Heath Slater's trailer home, because you get the best of three worlds there.
Well, anyway, folks, don't forget I go live every Thursday night at 9 p.m. Central Time with Nick Nene Fukue and Mark the Smart Draw with Sports Entertainment Tonight, our live call-in wrestling talk show. So if there's a wrestling topic that you guys want us to talk about, then call into our show Thursday night or ask it in our live chat room. We'd love to interact with you guys. Well, anyway, on that note, guys and gals, what I want to know from you guys out there, the viewers and subscribers, your thoughts on SmackDown Live this week. What are your overall scores? What are your picks for best and worst match or segment of SmackDown Live? We definitely want to hear what you guys out there have to say. Be sure to put your comments in the comment section below. Don't forget to like, favorite, and subscribe. WGS-TV is on social media, on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. You guys can ask me questions. Links will be provided in the description box below. Don't forget, I'll have a couple of videos in the annotations for you guys to check out as well. And if you want to see more from your old pal, the Wrestle Gamer, and the Bay Area MVP known as Will right here on WGS-TV, then don't forget to hit that subscribe button. So with that being said, for the Bay Area MVP known as Will, I am your friendly neighborhood Wrestle Gamer, and I will see you at the next Warp Zone. Bye, guys!
I didn't have a clue where I was and why. Never questioned it. Didn't feel real.
Paul Heyman next over the situation involving Brock Lesnar and the SmackDown Commissioner Shane McMahon. I will say this. It was an awesome promo. Really well done. They were able to deliver on a